So we are in
Queremos
the
demostrar acá con
LATAM
este
panel.
hermoso panel que
With
está
this
el día de hoy,
beautiful
cuál
panel
es el
that we have
potencial
today, we want to show you what's the potential of crypto in this region. Crypto in this region is not only an innovative technology, but it's a need. With Xenomics, we are used to this, and I challenge you to look at the graphs in any platform, how the Argentinian peso, for example, is devaluated face to the dollar. We've had 100% inflation. Ask Michael Saylor what happened with his dollars that were in the Argentinian banks. Here we have Dipa from Lemon Cash, Mireya, expert in crypto, here from Colombia. We have Mark Cripto, founder of Cripto and partner of Compass. Emilio Pardo from Bitsoft. He's in charge here of Colombia's region. Welcome, everybody. Let's have a talk. Please be seated. Okay, guys, welcome. Welcome. Thank you for being here. Let's start with the local lady, the Paisa. Hello, everybody. Good afternoon. It's a pleasure for me to be here with all of you and speak a little bit about this progress in Latin America and especially in Colombia. And I really have lived my country, the history very closely. I really like this stage. I like the crypto winters because it allows you to focus on what is really important, development, technology. And the people that are here are really committed with everything that we're living today. Colombia is a very interesting country. Like our friend was saying here, we have seen the devaluation is exponentially growing in other countries like Argentina, and also the pandemic affected us. So here we can see two things. The digital interests has been increasing and in the new technologies. This is a reality worldwide, not only Latin America. And the interest in the new transactions and refuge currencies have made us to look at this world. In Colombia, we are living a very interesting experiment called the regulatory sandbox with the participation of governments, some exchange, and some common people that are interested in the operations cash in, cash out, and we are going to learn more about how to do things better. Why don't you tell us, Emilio, what's the situation today of crypto and the Web3? What's your vision? It's a difficult question. It's not easy. It's not an easy question. I believe that we are in a very good stage in Colombia. It's one of the countries of highest adoption in the crypto world. Of course, there are some instability in the economy, politics that we are aware of. On the other hand, when we launched Bitso this year in May, we have had exponential growth, 2 digits growth. Not so much for the investment, but in the daily revenue. A lot of people doing international transfers, people wanting to look for other things than the traditional scheme. So we want to make crypto useful. It's not only for the experts. We want to democratize crypto. Yes, the case uses are very interesting. Okay, what's the situation in Argentina? How do you see it from Lemon? I share what Emilio was saying. The use case that we have in Lemon is to make crypto most accessible possible. And Web3 today sometimes doesn't have a very good experience for the user. So what we want to do from Limon is to improve this so that the users, with 2 clicks, they can buy the first crypto coins, cryptocurrencies. What we're trying to do is to make that bridge between the traditional financial system and DeFi or Web3, because the barrier for entrance is a little bit difficult sometimes. It's too high. If I ask my father to give me some money and I invest it and I lose all the money, when that's irreversible. So the idea is to improve the user's experience, and like you said, in Argentina, the situation, the growth of the adoption was exponential. We have more than 1.5 million users in Argentina. And well, I share the vision of what you were saying, and I'm learning a little bit about what's happening in LATAM, other places. So, Mad, you have a vision from Mexico, but also LATAM, because you have a broad scope. You are an influencer in the region. So what do you see with your community? And you have a lot of contact with people. You communicate with people in LATAM. Well, it's very interesting because each country is a little bit different. The reason why they go into crypto, Mexico doesn't have such high inflation as other countries in LATAM, and our currency compared to the dollar is pretty stable. So in Mexico, we have a local transfer system that's very good inside Mexico and also abroad. So, for example, in Argentina, they're trying to protect the capital not only against inflation, but expropriation as well. Something else that's also very interesting is the Latin people in the United States, and it's a very big market. A lot of Mexicans, of course, but from other places in LATAM also. Also, the exponential growth of crypto in the latest years, I believe it's going to continue growing. And there's already a culture. And in English, the crypto culture is being shared in Spanish. And I have also seen that the projects are more focused in creating Telegram in Spanish, the documents in Spanish. And maybe 2-3 years ago, it was not that common. And I believe it's going to continue increasing. And let's hope that more people are jumping into the crypto world. And if you can be developers. It's a great opportunity. Like it was mentioned in the previous talk, not only for money, but you can create your own things. You don't have to work for somebody. You can be independent as well. So each country has like a specialty. And, well, let's see what's happening in the next few years. Okay, beyond the users, because it's an important pillar, of course, for the adoption of crypto. The developers are also very important. Mireya, what's the situation of developers in Colombia? And also for you, Emilio, how do you see the human capital of the region to work in this industry? There's something very interesting. Colombia has a center for the development of 4.0 technology. We have the Software Valley. We have some buildings like Ruta N. And each weekend you can choose to go to the air shop of Ethereum or Chainlit. Everybody's here. They are all offering a lot of training, and that gives us like a light of hope, and that is how to decrease the technological gap. All these possibilities get us closer together, because sometimes we are isolated. There are some NGOs, for example, Makaya. It's a non-profit organization that works to close these gaps. So we have a lack of developers, like many other parts in the world. But in the medium term, I believe this is going to change. Emilio, it's funny because before opening Bitso, we had hired Colombians. So with a paradox, we were not operating, and the developers were working for Mexico, Brazil, Argentina, Europe. So we had a company that was not operating, and this reflects the talent that we have. In Bitso, we are more than 30 people from different nations all around the world. And with no doubt, Colombia is one of the main ones. We continue hiring, and it's not easy to find developers. If there's a good developer, somebody will hire him. But I believe we are on the right path, and there are going to be a lot of opportunities in the future. We are both from Argentina, and Dipa, we know how this is in Argentina, but how did the community grow? Well, the community, the users grew exponentially. And Vitalik, in December last year in Buenos Aires, said that they felt like a rock star because he was walking around and people recognized him. So he felt like a rock star. And Shana, everybody that you do meetups, every month they do meetups in different cities of Argentina. The last month, there was a hackathon in Buenos Aires, and it called it Bear Builders. So there's a lot of talent in Argentina. There are many projects. For example, Open Zeppelin, RCK, Mint Finance, project of DCA, Exactly Finance. Well, there are many, many projects. And for me, well, they always ask me about the laws and regulations in Argentina. Regulations are unavoidable. So let's try to educate the regulators to kind of make the best possible. In El Salvador, Bitcoin is an accepted currency, and it's favorable for finance, for the country. In Argentina, it would be great, like not to put a lot of obstacles. We have to help all the developers and have good regulations. Okay, this opens the door to the next question. How do you see the regulations, the law, the advancements? It not necessarily is negative. We want to normalize the industry and have laws. Yes, I feel that sometimes this closes some doors for new competitors, but at the same time, it's very important to protect the users. In the few months, we have seen companies collapse, and the users lose millions of dollars. So it's very important, the regulations, the laws, to protect the user. And I believe that there should be a model that allows the operations. Of course, there has to be innovation, but at the same time, protecting the user. It's difficult, but it's necessary for the next years. I feel that there's theft, sometimes daily yield, for example, etc. Here, there's a situation. There are many people that are developing in the metaverse because it's the boom. And you say that your company is in the metaverse. And I believe that we need more education when the lawyers are getting involved in all these new technologies. Of course, we need lawyers, and we need to protect the user because it's an unknown topic, and the communities are very important so that these projects will continue in the medium and long term. Because if not, they will be kind of forgotten and not useful. So it's important that everything works hand in hand, the regulator, the laws of the metaverse, and the developers. I am self-critical in regulation because if we that are part of the ecosystem, we don't push on the regulators. For example, we are in favor of regulations, and in Colombia we said, yes, we need regulations to protect the user. The only way is doing an intelligent regulation and educating the regulator, because most of the regulators, let's say, maybe 30, 40 years more than Vitalik. So when you sit down with a regulator, they don't understand what you're speaking of. And they have been doing the same things for the last 40 years in the same way. So I say, if I haven't been able to explain to my mother what I'm working on, then I won't be able to explain it to a regulator. She thinks I'm playing Monopoly on the internet. So imagine somebody that in the political agenda, they don't have crypto as a priority, and they don't have that hunger for knowledge and to understand crypto. So we, as a community, we need to explain to them what crypto's about, what the platform's about. And we agree that we have to educate the regulator so that we can have smart regulations. If not, it will be something that will kill innovation. It will kill the ecosystem and new opportunities, the democratization of everything that we have. Yes, you said a keyword, and that's education. I believe this is a very important pillar, and we have to work on it, not only for the users, but to be able, of course, they have to understand the system, but like Dipa was saying, for example, if you don't include a number, a symbol, then that will be a bad operation and you can lose money. But education is important. What can you say about education? I can speak if you want. Yes, that is something that I have been working on in the latest months. On September 21, it was the Day of the Students. So we made the announcement that maybe next week we'll have an exact date. We're launching an open course in Lemon. It's open for everybody. There was a need for content. Well, we have a lot of content out there. If you Google Bitcoin in Google or Cosmos, whatever, it's not very clear. You don't know which step is following. What do I read better? How do I read things so that I can understand? Do I trust the source? So we made like a summary, and we put it in a course. We brought experts from the Argentinian ecosystem that works in Maker, Mundo Wallet, and we began a course from 0 to 1 until DeFi, DAOs, NFTs, and anybody that says, okay, where do I start? I want to learn, but where do I start? So this is a great course that we have set up. It's very important so that people can have good and ordered information. Somebody else that you want to say? Yes, this is much needed so that people know what's the real things, what can they do, what can they reach, what projects can you work on, so that people learn about this world and about. People just say, I'm buying because it's going up, and they don't know exactly the reasons. We know that Web 3.0 is focused in decentralization. Everything's horizontal. Everybody's owner of everything. But we still need more. Still, we need centralization because the elemental tips, for example, only have one email for your cryptos, only one telephone for your cryptos. I see a lot of thefts. And that's a difficult point, and it's a basic, easy point, an easy thing to do. So it's very difficult to be decentralized. So definitely we have to work on. It's something that we have to work on together. If somebody has a bad experience, then the whole ecosystem is going to be affected. I agree. So to wrap up, would you please, each one of you, tell the audience, what is your vision in the close future? What's the potential that the region has of the crypto industry? What do you see in LATAM? Besides what we have spoken, how do you see the future here in Latin America? Maybe Emilio can start? It's a difficult question, very complex. I would change it. What couldn't we not see in Web3? Recently, I went to a talk where we spoke about Web3. How many people from the financial industry is here? And very few were financial industry. There were some industries that were there to improve their own industry according to some use cases. Well, in the 90s, when we began having internet, I believe in DAOs. Not yet, but that is going to be a revolution. I have close colleagues that are working on very interesting projects. There's a huge space of possibility. Web3 is huge. Everything we can solve it in Web3. Yes, it's a difficult question. And that's why it's last question. I believe that more products are going to be developed because DeFi are in an open, decentralized way. But it's not just products of the financial area. There are other products that this technology, for example, Superfluid, it's a streaming, so you don't have to wait until the end of the month to cash your salary. So as the months and the years go by, these kind of new products are going to be coming up. And they're going to be more revolutionary and with more emphasis if we continue working on it and not placing obstacles. But we have their interest, the talent is there, and, well, there are many people here interested in these topics. They are here to get educated, to learn. I am very bullish when speaking about the future of Web3. For example, what happened with Tornado Cash. So I'm very bullish. Mireya? I believe that the future, we have the native generation. And let's hope that the schools and the academic gap can be closed. And everybody here knows that the professions have changed. You can get educated from home, and that's changing your mindset. Like you said, those that are 50 or 60 years of age, maybe they don't understand what the young people are speaking of. So the young people are doing a lot of interesting things. Well, I have a vision that's more conservative, so I would like that everybody can open their bank accounts and do transferences. For example, in the rural area, they have smartphones, so the banks don't go there. But I would like to integrate everybody so that they could send, borrow money, etc., and not be isolated. So people still do not understand this dimension, for example, of sending money in a fast, easy way that blockchain supplies. People are looking beyond, but we still haven't finished the integration today. I wanted to add something. The user's experience in Web3 and DeFi has to improve dramatically, exponentially. And going to the side of what Matt was saying, the future is that everybody has a wallet and that maybe we're using crypto in the back and we don't really realize this. So the idea is that everybody, even my mother, could use it. Yes, and to close the panel today, the user's experience in the next months, years, it's a debt that we have that crypto has to overcome. That's the goal, and many people have realized this. And I listened to Ethan in a podcast saying that read the code. That's not like that anymore. That has to change. So thank you, everybody, for being here in this panel. Emilio, Matt, Dipa, Mireya. Thank you, everybody. And let's continue with...